This is an illustration of a problem that we can't get the answer by using American FactFinder. I have a researcher that wants to know the average age of the population 60 and over for blacks in Detroit by gender. So what's the average age of black males and the average age of black females for the population 60 and over? If I go to the detailed tables in American FactFinder and look at what the sex by age by race table is, you'll see that the cut points don't happen at the right spot. It's in 10-year age intervals, and there's no way we can divide the population 60 and over. If I were to look at the blue font, that's actually a less detailed table. It only has 3 age groups, and the cut points are less than 18, 18 to 64, 65 and over. If I look at the sex by age table, I do have enough detail. Be rather tedious, but you get 60 to 61, 62 to 64, 65, etc. So you have enough detail there to get the average age of the 60 and over population. But Detroit is not a black-only city, so you can't use the total population to define the black population. So this is a time where we would want to use PDQ-Explore to define our query and get exactly what we want. So I've already got PDQ-Explore open. I want to make a new query. And I'm going to suggest that we would use the 3-year sample because we are looking at a single city and we're looking at just the tail of the distribution for the population 60 and over. So to define the 3-year data, you say dnum equals 2008.3. I want it to be restricted to the state of Michigan, so state FIP equals 26. And I can define Detroit perfectly using the public use microdata areas. So Puma greater than equal to 3701 and Puma is less than equal to 3708. And I want age to be greater than equal to 60. Now I'm going to digress a second and let you see where I got those Puma numbers from. If you go to the Pop Studies Data Services area and type in IPUMS, very top choice is Geographic Tools. And click on Definitions of the Public Use Microdata Areas. This is a very low-tech way of finding it. It's easy to do. Scroll down to the state you're interested in, and you get the detailed contents for the state of Michigan. And then type Edit, Find, type in Detroit, and the first instance I get is not Detroit City, but the next one is. And then at that point you need to scroll down and actually look at those Pumas and make sure that they really are defining Detroit and don't have something else in here. So here's Puma 3701 and all the parts of it are Detroit. So that was just a digression to show you where I'm getting that information from. So I go ahead and bring up PDQ-Explore again. And I want actually to be doing a summary statistic rather than a crosstab, and I'm going to do sex by race, even though they really just wanted it for for blacks. I'll go ahead and get it for whites as well. Then one last thing, if you're not using the 1 year data, PDQ-Explore automatically puts in the weights if you're using 1 year data, but otherwise you need to put in the weight. So the weight is per weight. So let's see what we get for results. And here's for whites. If I do for each, I'll get the results for each race group. So for the population of interest, blacks, the average age of the 60 and over population for males is 71, for females is 72. Now, one thing I would caution you is anytime you're using microdata, you need to go back and make sure that your sample really is large enough. These are weighted to represent the city of Detroit. If I go back and see how many people are actually in the sample, just get rid of the weight item, click on results again, and you can see that the sample is actually pretty small. There are 500 whites in the sample that are of that age. And about 2,500 blacks. So you've got plenty of blacks to be doing a little bit with, and you've got enough whites for doing the mean age 60 and over. But you're borderline on that white population, and you'll be surprised sometimes if you go back and weight the data and see what the actual number of cases are. So this is again an illustration of doing a query when you don't have what you need out of American FactFinder.